out in my head, and you know, the one thing I didn't count on is how I would
Story, rising tensions, and storyline momentum. Solo Sikoa, a powerhouse and pillar of the Bloodline, has long asserted his dominance on WWE's SmackDown roster. Known for his combination of brute strength, technical skill, and ruthless efficiency, Sikoa has consistently dismantled opponents in both singles and tag team competition. However, in recent weeks, subtle cracks and storylines hinted at the potential for new alliances and escalating threats, leaving fans anticipating dramatic developments. Meanwhile, Tama Tonga, a returning force with a storied history in tag team competition and faction warfare, had been conspicuously absent from WWE programming. Known for his aggressive style, psychological cunning, and ability to dominate any confrontation, Tonga's return was highly anticipated by fans and analysts alike. His presence alongside Sikoa signaled a calculated shift in SmackDown's power dynamics. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura, the targets of this assault, had been building momentum as resilient underdogs. Both are celebrated for their technical prowess, high-flying maneuvers, and crowd-pleasing charisma. Their history as seasoned competitors capable of overcoming overwhelming odds made them the perfect foil for the combined threat of Sikoa and Tonga, ensuring that the segment carried both emotional weight and competitive tension. The return. Tama Tonga makes his presence felt. The segment began with Solo Sikoa dominating the backstage area, his imposing frame and cold stare signaling impending chaos. Just as the tension peaked, Tama Tonga's music hit, instantly electrifying the arena. Fans erupted into cheers and shock, aware that the SmackDown roster was about to face a dramatic power shift. Tonga walked with deliberate intensity, his eyes locked on the unsuspecting Zayn and Nakamura. Commentators immediately speculated about the implications of Tonga joining forces with Sikoa, noting that this new alliance, a rebirth of the Bloodline's dominance, could reshape the hierarchy of SmackDown, challenge existing factions, and establish a new era of chaos and control. The assault, brutal and relentless, as Zayn and Nakamura celebrated their recent victories and prepared for a post-match interview, Sikoa and Tonga struck with surgical precision. Sikoa initiated the assault with a series of powerful slams and devastating strikes, showcasing the raw strength and dominance that have made him one of WWE's most feared competitors. Tama Tonga's involvement escalated the chaos. Known for combining speed, agility, and raw aggression, Tonga delivered high-impact strikes, throwing Zayn and Nakamura off balance while amplifying the sense of unpredictability. Chairs were strategically used to enhance the realism and intensity of the segment without risking serious injury, emphasizing the calculated nature of the attack. The camera captured the expressions of all four superstars in vivid detail. Zayn's agile attempts to counter and evade, Nakamura's precision strikes despite being outnumbered, and the calculated dominance of Sikoa and Tonga as they orchestrated the ambush. The segment highlighted not just physical superiority, but also psychological intimidation, creating an aura of fear and anticipation for future confrontations. Verbal taunting and psychological warfare. The attack was accompanied by verbal exchanges that heightened the drama. Solo Sikoa's commanding tone projected authority, while Tama Tonga's sharp-cutting commentary added a layer of psychological intimidation. Solo Sikoa, this is SmackDown. This is our world. Respect the Bloodline. Tama Tonga, you think you're tough? You're nothing compared to us. Step aside or get crushed. Zayn and Nakamura tried to assert themselves, defending their honor and refusing to back down, but their efforts only fueled the aggression of the newly allied duo. This verbal sparring underscored the stakes, creating anticipation for rematches, pay-per-view clashes, and escalating factional warfare. Backstage and locker room reactions. The intensity of the segment was immediately felt backstage. WWE superstars, producers, and crew members were captivated. noting that the chemistry between Sikoa, Tonga, Zayn, and Nakamura elevated the storytelling and increased the perceived stakes of SmackDown's ongoing narratives. One WWE insider remarked, "Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga coming together in that segment wasn't just impactful, it was transformative. They established dominance while elevating Zayn and Nakamura as credible underdogs. That's the kind of storytelling WWE thrives on." The segment also sparked speculation about potential faction expansions, alliances, and future rivalries, with fans and insiders predicting a series of high-stakes confrontations that could dominate SmackDown for weeks. Fan reaction, social media eruption. The WWE Universe reacted instantly, flooding platforms with commentary, GIFs, and video clips. Fans praised the intensity, storytelling, and strategic execution of the segment. Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga are unstoppable. SmackDown just changed forever. Zayn and Nakamura may have taken a beating, but they'll be back stronger. Amazing segment. The Bloodline is reborn, and chaos is coming. Can't wait for the rematch. Trending hashtags such as hashtag Bloodline Reborn, hashtag Solo Sikoa, hashtag Tama Tonga Returns, hashtag SmackDown Chaos, and hashtag Zayn vs. Sikoa reflected the global attention and engagement generated by the segment. Storytelling and factional implications. The attack sets up multiple intriguing storyline possibilities. Bloodline expansion, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga could recruit allies, challenging WWE's existing factions and creating a dominant presence across SmackDown. Revenge storyline, Zayn and Nakamura's resilience sets up high-stakes rematches, potentially involving stipulations, multi-man matches, or pay-per-view encounters. Factional conflict. The segment hints at internal power struggles and factional warfare, elevating SmackDown storytelling and providing long-term narrative depth. The combination of brute force, strategy, and psychological warfare ensures that the segment resonates with fans on multiple levels, engaging both casual viewers and hardcore WWE enthusiasts. Psychological impact and anticipation. The attack was as much psychological as it was physical. By ambushing Zayn and Nakamura, Sikoa and Tonga asserted dominance, sending a clear message to SmackDown's roster. Defiance comes at a price. The segment established tension, fear, and anticipation, ensuring that fans remain invested in the upcoming matches and ongoing storyline developments. Final thoughts. SmackDown's new era. Begins the brutal assault by Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga on Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura marks a defining moment in WWE SmackDown history. The segment effectively combined physical intensity, factional dominance, and storytelling mastery, creating a dramatic and unforgettable moment that will be remembered for months.